Hey, welcome to the Heavy Sweater Podcast. My name is John King. If this is your first time listening, this is the Heavy Sweater Podcast, a deep dive into the beginnings of musicians and bands with a heavy variety. And this week, we have a really fucking cool guest, Damien Bigara from Diesect. Really fucking sick band. Fucking great band. Their first show was Toowoomba, and I remember I did an announcement on the podcast when Shokan were playing that, because that was Shokan's second show, so that was their first show. It was fucking sick. I remember watching them and I was just like, fuck, like this band fucking hits different. Like, they're so sick. But we get into Damien's beginnings in heavy music and how Dissect kind of started, and we touch on his detour from heavy music into like hip hop and rap and stuff, which is real cool. We even get into the infamous, for me, Lismore show, because Damien was meant to be at that show with his last band, Enslaver. That show was a fucking nightmare. And also, Dissect have some fucking really sick shows coming up next weekend of this release. This comes out today, obviously, Sunday. They've got some really fucking cool shows. So stick around for the end of the episode to hear about those. And they also just put out a 2-track called Snake Eater, and it's really fucking cool. So with all that being said, it's Sunday, and you know what that means. Fucking get it, boy! Hey, bud, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fucking sick. I got a headache. I'm fucked.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
I've been up since 4. I'm rat shit.
Yeah, sure, you got it worse than me then, bro.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of sleep there.
No, you had a fucking sick night though.
Yeah, I just did the 2-hour drive back. It was like 3 hours that I wasn't even planning on staying.
What was that? It
And
just like lagged
so we
a
got
little
out of
bit.
the car at the venue and we're like, yeah, let's book a motel.
Oh
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we drove up there, like turned off like 3 hours, and then yeah, we got out of the car at the venue and we're like, yeah, let's book a motel.
Same as the Toowoomba move.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Sick,
Pairing
man.
up motels.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
man.
like when we met you guys up there and you were like, oh, we're staying in a motel. I was like, that's hectic. Like, I didn't even think of that, but we had to play Nambour the next day. So I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, and it's like that though. Like last time when we finished, like I was like, oh, like I'm stoked we got the motel, but at the same time, because like I didn't want to do the drive, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, I was like, I'd love to be in my own bed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man,
because those motel beds, they're pretty hit and miss.
yeah, for sure. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. Where'd you guys stay up on the Sunny Coast?
We just stayed at it was like I think like 10 minutes away from the venue.
sick.
So
Just
yeah, it was
Maroochydore
like a nice
area.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not really familiar with Sunny Coast at all. I think I've been up there maybe 5 times in my life. So
Oh,
like,
fuck.
yeah, I have no clue when I'm up there.
Sick.
But yeah, no, it's pretty close by, and like it was actually like a real nice one. Like we stayed in some pretty questionable ones.
Yeah,
So,
fuck yeah.
yeah, it was actually
Sick,
nice.
man.
Didn't really feel like a motel like that. So no, it was
Fuck yeah.
cool.
Cool. Well, we'll get into everything with music for you, and like, what's the first sort of heavy-ish band you remember hearing for the first time? Being like, that's fucking sick.
Oh, I'd say probably Bullet for My Valentine, bro.
Yeah.
Like fucking they changed just everything for me. Like
Yeah,
before
fuck
that,
yeah.
like I was into like Lil Jon and like
Oh,
Stomp the
so
Yard.
good.
Yeah, I was when I was in like grade 5, bro. I was into like the Stomp the Yard like soundtrack pretty much.
Yeah. And
And
Need for Speed Underground 2 soundtrack.
yeah, pretty much. And yeah, at some point, like I guess some of like my brothers, like my older brother, like he and his older friends, like showed me like some metal, like Bullet for My Valentine. And I think after that, because I was obsessed with them, like posters on my walls, all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like all of that. And then I think after that was Escape the Fate, and then like I heard like
Yes.
Sweeping and shit for the first time, and I was like, what is that?
Fuck
Because
yeah.
yeah, I play guitar before anything, so
Yep.
like I've been playing guitar since then. And yeah, for me, like Bullet, Escape the Fate, bit of Kill Switch Engage, not as much,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think, yeah, moved from that onto eventually like Asking Alexandria and stuff.
So good.
Yeah, it was so sick. I thought it was
Fucking
so
best.
heavy back then
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I actually
But for
listened to
real though, the second Asking Alexandria album, the Reckless and
Yeah.
Relentless, for a Drop C album, bullshit heavy.
it is heavy for Drop C, bro.
Yeah,
Legit.
it is fucking
Legit.
insane how heavy that is.
Yeah, like I remember when I first tuned my guitar to drop C, I think it was because of them and Escape the Fate, and I was
Yeah.
just like, man, this is the tuning, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is the
That
tuning.
was the tuning for anyone in our age
Yeah,
group at that time period. Drop
legit.
C is the tuning.
Yeah, like I thought I was hectic for it too, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't even remember the last time I played a six string now. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Fuck yeah.
yeah,
I do, but
but
we
yeah.
play baritones. So
Oh, really? True.
yeah,
I can't
six
do it. Like
baritones.
I tried a baritone at the music store and I was just like wigging out because like I was
Yeah.
going to like the high E and it wasn't there. And I was like, what am I playing? Like I'm
Yeah,
tuning
yeah,
guitar
yeah.
now, like
Yeah,
So,
fuck yeah.
but yeah, I just love seven strings, man.
Yeah, no, I had a
But
seven for ages and I just sold it to buy fucking this guy, this iron label baritone.
that's the one I tried at the music store. Like
Yeah.
it's such a nice looking guitar. I love how like long like the neck is and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it just weirded me out. So I was like,
It is
nah.
weird.
I was like kind of tossing between that and then the iron label seven string I got here next to me. And yeah, I just ended up getting that. So
Yeah,
yeah. Had a
Good
few
decision.
A strings and stuff, but like I don't know, man. Like they're cool, but like
Yeah.
you just play them differently. You just naturally go to like jaunt it, you know. So,
For sure. You only become
Yeah.
Josh Travis once you go past the seven string.
There's only so many zeros and ones you can play, man, and then you got to learn music theory. So
No, I don't want it. I just want one zeros, 5, 7, 8. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, caveman riffs all day, bro.
Ooh, yeah. I want that protruding brow.
Yeah, yeah. Word.
Yeah,
I got into like Suicide Silence and stuff after that, and like a bit of Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Just I feel like it's just like the classic kind of pathway, just the heaviest stuff, and then I guess at some point I like found myself like right into deathcore, like played in some deathcore like bands and stuff. Really loved Aversion's Crown. Like Aversion's Crown was like such a like influential band for me when they dropped Tyrant.
Yeah, I think they're an underrated band too.
Oh, dude, hard, straight up.
Yeah.
Big shout out to them because they had a massive moment, I think, like in the scene.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? Just wigged out on my end. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
I think those guys like, changed so much, and yeah. And at some point, I guess I found myself listening to like Infinite Annihilator and like. Yeah, because I was listening to that all the time, like anything else just sounded like fucking weird and like not heavy.
Nothing's heavy
and
enough.
Then, yeah, and then like after that, like I stopped playing in bands and did like my own like solo underground rap thing for a while because I didn't have a band anymore. And I was like, well, I still want to make music because it's like that's all I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I did that for a while, learned a lot with that, like in terms of like, you know, what works, what doesn't work, marketing wise, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, I just found myself naturally at some point, like 2020, I started listening to metal again because I just stopped listening to it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like, and then I started listening to like Chelsea Grin again and like bands like that. I love Chelsea Grin.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was at the gym actually, and I was listening to Chelsea Grin, and I was just like, shit, this just hits different. Like nothing does it like metal, you know, like getting like that like childhood love for it back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, like our guitarist Jacob, he's been playing in bands for ages as well. And then yeah, we just started writing together because I bought a guitar again. Like and I was like, like let's just start playing again because I took a long break away from it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that ended up being Mirror Image when we started writing together. You know, so yeah, it was so natural, bro. And I'm so stoked it happened too because like I just feel like this is like, you know, coming back to metal after all this time. It just feels like so much more natural and like, you know, just so much better. You know, so that's pretty much like how we got to here, you know. So yeah.
Sick, man. Well, I knew you played guitar before we did this, but I didn't know until after I met you that you were in Enslaver.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then because like I know Zach McKinley from like my old band.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. And I did an episode with him and I was like, I met Damien the other day, like at a show because he's in Diesect. He's like, oh fuck yeah, cool.
Yeah, wow, that's a small world, bro.
Yeah,
he played with us for a few months, I think, before it just kind of fell apart, I suppose. Like everyone kind of just, you know, goes their direction sometimes, you know. So but yeah, that was like when I was right into like my deathcore, man. Super loved Aversion's Crown. Probably ripped them off a little bit, to be honest. But like, but as you do when you're like 17.
Yeah, man, for sure. That's wild. Cool. So like you get into like those bands when you're a kid, and what's the band that like or guitar player that makes you want to pick up a guitar? Is it Matt Tuck from Bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt's
fuck
fucking
yeah.
bad, bro, for sure.
Yeah,
Like I was
sick.
just like, I want to do that. Like, yeah, I'd say them, and then the guitarist, I can't remember his name. I think it was Monty Money from the
Yeah,
Circle Bay. With all
yeah.
the sleeves, bro. I put like
Just
so many
shredders,
hours.
bro.
Oh, dude, I put
Shredders.
so many hours into learning sweeping. Like I just like
Oh,
disregarded everything else.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
it
never
was pretty
learned that. I was
ridiculous.
like, I just
Oh,
want to
really?
learn Marilyn Manson songs and Slipknot
Yeah,
songs,
true.
and that's it. That's all I need.
That's a big one actually for me too. Slipknot.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck yeah.
I actually have a pretty like wild story with Slipknot. Like my mom wouldn't let me listen to Slipknot.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm from South Africa. Like I
Okay.
moved here when I was 15. And yeah, there was like this thing that's a pretty hectic, like, but there was like this basically like a little bit of like a thing that happened with this kid who went to a school with a Slipknot mask on back home. And
Okay.
I actually found out about Slipknot on the news, and I was like, I saw Mick Thompson and I was scared shitless. Like I
Yeah.
was like, holy, like what is this? I'm like,
Yeah.
10 years old, like, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I met I was actually in grade 5 with Luke Harhoff from Virginia.
Okay.
And yeah, so like we met back then, and he showed me Slipknot, like,
Yeah.
because he already listens to them. He always kind of listened to, like, I would be like at asking like Zonja, and he'd be at Suicide Silence, to kind
Yeah.
of just level up like
Like
that. He was
one
always into
step
hip hop.
ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. So he showed me Slipknot, and then I was like trying to buy the Slipknot CD from the music store.
Yeah.
And my mom was just not having it. Fair enough, she's just seen these dudes on the news
Yeah.
because of what happened.
Yeah.
And I just begged her. I like went back there and back then, and like the guy who worked there like told her, like, kind of convinced her, like, yo, your kid's not going to end up like this guy.
Yeah.
Like the classic shit. And I eventually got that Slipknot CD, and I think that was the Subliminal Verses.
Oh, so
And
good.
yeah, biggest game changer for me. I think I went from Bullet to Slipknot, and then I was just like, and straight after that I got All Hope Is Gone.
Yeah.
And still to this day, that's my favorite Slipknot album. Like,
All Hope Is Gone?
Yeah, straight
Fuck,
up. Like,
that's sick.
yeah, I think like Jamaica. I go back and listen to that stuff now, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like, it really did shape so much of the new metal these days. Like, it's just so evident. I mean, like, I feel like they're just so ahead of their time. I mean, you can only say so many. You can't really say anything bad about Slipknot. What I mean? Like, but like, so I feel like it goes without saying. But like, fuck, just like going back and hearing it for myself, I'm like, holy shit! Like, they were really on something crazy.
Even that album, because I feel like for a lot of people, that album was like the dropping off point. Where
true.
Where like they really kind of weren't that into Slipknot after that, because like Volume 3 was so big, Iowa was so influential, and the first album was so like game changing for everything. But like, there's some fucking bangers on All Hope Is Gone. Like Butcher's Hook is so fucked.
Oh, dude, yeah, all that one, Gehenna.
Yeah.
There's one on there I'm trying to think of. I can't think of the name now, but I was like listening to it, and I was just like, holy shit, like this is modern metalcore.
And
that's
and
like
for 2009.
Yeah, 2009. It's insane, bro. Like, it's so gnarly.
Yeah, and then last album with Paul and Joey.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's crazy too. It's probably pretty controversial as well. I didn't really like Iowa. Like,
really?
I went, because like the old drummer in my old band, he was like, man, listen to Iowa, and I was like, I have, but like, I'll go listen to it again, because this was a few months ago. I was just re-listening to old music. And I listened to it, and I was like, it's all right. Like, it's not bad or anything. I'm just like, I just love All Hope Is Gone.
Yeah.
So,
it's probably because it holds a special place to you. Where like, I had this discussion with The Wandering, where like, their guitar player loves like Volume 3, and their vocalist loves Iowa, and they both think that their album is the best album. I sit on Volume 3 because like that is just like such a roller coaster, where it's like bangers, heavy music, and then like really weird songs like Circle.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So like, I'm like in there where it's just like whatever. I fucking listen to all of it. I love it all.
Oh yeah, I think Volume 3 is great too. I just like, because I went back and listened to that too, obviously, because it was like my first Slipknot album ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like with All Hope Is Gone, like, because that was the second one I got.
Yeah.
Even then, like, listening to it now, I'm just like the overall tone of that album, and like this Corey Taylor's lyrics in it. Obviously, I'm like very big on lyrics, especially now that I'm old enough to understand them. But I just think the overall tone is just sick. Like, I just perceive it so differently now, I think. And fucking love it. What else can I say?
Great album. Great album.
So, yeah,
for sure. Dead Memories is a banger. I remember learning that on guitar, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then I got to the solo, I was like, nope, I'm good. I just
I
need to
feel
learn the
that.
rhythms and the fucking dun, dun, dun parts. I'm fucking set.
Yeah. I remember I just looked at their tuning once. I think it was in B, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck is that?"
like
Like,
B
I
and
was like,
A.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I dropped the guitar down.
yeah. Warp tour bands don't play that low. Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, "This is fucking hectic, bro. Not for
Yeah,
me."
sick. Cool,
So yeah.
man. So like that's the band that gets you into wanting to play guitar. What's your first guitar ever?
Oh, my first guitar, like my first electric guitar ever, was a Ibanez Geo, like a little, like kind of like
Yes.
SG shape,
Yeah.
like a white one.
Oh, whoa.
It was shit house, yeah. But
Yeah, Geos
I was,
suck. Geos are
oh
trash.
yeah, I actually got a Geo bass next to me. I don't know why I bought it, but like it's got
Just
22
cheap
frets.
bass, man. Cheap
Yeah, I
basses are
was like, I
fine.
want to play bass. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, my first sick guitar was Ibanez Zathos. You know, like the
Oh,
crazy
okay.
like X, like kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
shape.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
I
sick.
think the first time I saw one of them was the guitar player from Alisana had one. It
Yeah,
was like a
okay.
white one, and I was like, "That's fucking sick." Just
Yeah,
like
it's very
pointy boys.
metal, you know,
Yeah,
like metal horns,
yeah,
metal,
yeah.
like, you know,
Big
but
pointy guitars.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
shark fin inlays and shit.
yeah.
Oh, I thought that
Fuck
shit
yeah.
was so cool back
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
bro. But like I
Deathcore
just
as fuck. What do you
black
mean?
and no frets. So
Yeah, sick.
yeah, but you
That's
know, that was
killer,
definitely
man.
the first game changer guitar for me.
Fuck yeah, cool. And then from there, you start bands when you're in high school, or is it when you get out of high school that you start putting
I
bands together?
started in high school, like back home, like in South Africa, it was pretty hard to like assemble a metal band, let
Yeah,
alone like play shows. There was like some bands that did it, and I just think like the hardest thing was just finding members, like, you know, and just finding people as well, like at that age that were like, I guess, like on the same page as you, because
yeah,
like I feel like some people, you know, want to be like, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I'll play in a band, and then some people are like, yo, this is what I want to do, you
yeah.
know. So
There's two
even at
kinds
that
of
age
people
for
in this
me,
world.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
even for me back then, bro, like I decided when I was like, I think like 14, 15, I was like, this is what I do. Shit. It
yeah,
was
man.
hard to do that then, but then we moved over here, and then yeah, like that just like changed shit for me because I guess so many more people that are into it and shit, like realizing now, thinking about it, like, you know, Australia is like the metal like belly of the world, like, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
best place to be in a metal band. And yeah, I just tried a few things out, eventually found some people, got a consistent lineup, and that was Enslaver. And then
Fuck
we
yeah,
were
cool.
grinding at that for like, yeah, like for most of my high school time here, to be honest.
Okay.
And yeah, I was pretty much only ever in Diesect, and then I guess Enslaver as actual bands who played shows, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And then
Everything else
just
was
like,
just kind of like, yo, we're in a band, bro,
yeah,
like come over to my house, you know,
yeah,
like
dude, yeah, yeah, yeah,
type
yeah.
shit.
That classic.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Fuck yeah.
first band ever was in grade 5, and that was with Luke from Velvedenia. And like we had no music, nothing. We
Yeah,
barely
no.
played guitar, and we were trying to
Yeah.
book shows at like this, like the fucking main
Oh,
venue and
fuck.
shit.
Could you imagine how that would have gone down?
Dead said, like I like made us like a
Fuck.
website and shit. I can't remember the name. It was something stupid, but like I made us like a website and like said that we're playing at this place called Wave House, which is like the skate park that was made by Tony Hawk. And
Okay.
all the big bands used to play there. And I
That's sick.
booked a date like then. I'm like,
You
yeah, we're
just,
playing here.
yeah,
I was
that's
just
so sick.
9, 10 years old, just ambitious, I guess.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking sick. That is
Yeah,
incredible.
no, it was just like made up though, you know.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
real.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
but like the idea of like we're gonna do this, and then you just rock up, and then you're like, now what? Like,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
music and shit. That would have been so sick, man.
Yeah, so silly, just the pretend band.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
yeah.
character building, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
That's
For
fucking
sure.
wild. That's so sick. I think this might have been like the last Enslaver show to be booked. I don't think you've played it. It was Lismore.
Lismore.
Yeah, and it was, and I think like I think you guys might have been headlining it, but like every band dropped off like the day of.
Yeah, I think I remember. I don't know if it must have been Lismore, but I remember like something happening, and then like, yeah, I don't know what exactly happened because it was such a long time ago. But I just remember, I think some of us made it up there, some of us couldn't make it up there last minute. And it was just a bit of a shit show. So like I have no idea what happened. I just remember that
it fucking was because I went there because I played that show too, and it was fucked. It was so fucked. I've spoken about it on here like maybe once or twice in passing, being like Lismore's the worst place to have a show ever because of this show. It was trash. So like You guys dropped off, which was smart decision because it was fun. The guy putting the show on didn't show up, didn't pay the venue, didn't organize the sound guy.
Those ones.
Man, and then like I think half the bands from Sydney were just like, nah, and it was like us, this band called Burial at Sea, Novus at the time.
Oh, Novus, yeah.
Yeah, so they played, they crushed. They played like Parkway covers and In Heart's Wake covers. It was so sick.
Yeah. No, Novus is still going actually.
Yeah, they're crushing. Yeah,
I love those boys, man.
They're sick.
I really want to like. I think that we tried to get them on a show a while ago, but they couldn't because of COVID and stuff. So I'd be keen to get them on something once they. I think they can come here now. I'm pretty out of touch. But yeah, no, that'd be sick, bro. They've been going at it for a while.
Yeah, so. Fuck yeah. I remember when I saw them, I was just like, this band is a fucking game changer. Like, if they start playing Brisbane on the regular, like they will blow the fuck up.
Oh yeah, dude. Like they've been at it for a while. Like we when Enslaver was still called In the Hands of Captors, that was our first name. Like we played a show with them at the Yak. And their name was Subvert.
That's sick.
And yeah, so we both had old names, and like that's when we first met them, and that was like fucking I think like 2014.
Okay.
So yeah, I met those boys like way back then. So it's like sick to see that they're still going for it. You know? So,
fuck yeah. It's hard to like keep a band going for that long.
Dude, I feel you. It's tough, man. Like especially after doing it like solo for a while, like you know, when you have to kind of like you know. It's really just all up to you, you know what I mean? I feel like being in a collective of people and stuff like that, and like, you know, it's just very different, you know, to being a solo musician. But I love it. Like, it's just like, I feel like if you just stick at it, you know, like that's when you start to see like, you know, the progress you want to see. Like, because I remember even like, you know, big shout out to Diamond Construct. Like we played a show with them at the Yak, I think in 2014 or something. Okay. And I think they might have even played before us. I don't know, but we ended up like
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, and they were going hard. Like we ended up in some random pretty random. And yeah, like I think that they're a really good example, man, of like if you just keep at it, like you know, you'll do well. Because like seeing them now, like how far they've come from then is just like inspiring, you know, like it's just like holy shit, like seeing them back at the Yak, they're playing to like 5 people max, I think, and now it's like we're like, you know, opening for them at the Woolly Mammoth, like that's like holy shit, like good on those dudes, you know. Yeah, man, it's
that's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember hearing about Diamond Construct in like 2016. Like my old band played some shows in Sydney, and one of the guys we were playing with mentioned them in passing, being like, Diamond Construct will be the biggest band in Australia in a couple of years. And now it's 2022 and they're fucking doing a headliner run all across the country. It's fucking insane.
It's gnarly, man. It was cool too. It's like when I like what I was saying before, like when I got back into metal and stuff, like I was kind of like hectic because I had to kind of like, you know, like retouch all my bases and like, you know, see all the new stuff that's come out because I just wasn't listening to it, man. Like, you know, like I'd heard about some new bands and whatever. And yeah, I guess I wasn't listening to that kind of music. So when I got back into it, like obviously Diamond Construct at some point like came across like my socials or whatever. And like I listened to DCX2 and I was like, holy shit. I was like, what are these boys eating, bro? Like I was like, this shit is crazy. Like like man, like I think that's like still like of all their music, I think that's like my favorite release they've done. Like I've just been like, it just gave me like the biggest like I don't know, like I guess shock factor because I was just like, this is just so meaty and like I love it, you know. And like the like hybrid genre that they have going on, I just love it, man. Like the trap influence, all of that. Like I think that shit's so sick. Obviously coming from making that music myself too. So
fuck yeah.
Shout out to those boys, man.
Fucking Diamond Construct, fucking killing it.
Straight up.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, do you want to talk about like the transition from the heavies into rap? Like what made that come about? You were just done doing the band thing?
Yeah, well, so like when the band kind of stopped doing anything, like I was still writing stuff on myself, like metal band stuff, like still like kind of like genty, like deathcore. And like I was still doing that, but then like the band had pretty much it wasn't there anymore, you know. And I was kind of like, for me, like I've always said, like, no, I want to do music at like all costs. Like, you know, I want to, you know, this is what I want to do, you know. So I was just kind of like, well, I need to figure out something I'm going to do, you know. And at that time, like I just discovered like Suicide Boys, and
Yeah.
then I got later on and got into like Ghostman and stuff, and I was just kind of like, at first I felt like I couldn't do that kind of music, and then like I don't know, the more I listened to it, the more I was just like, especially when I found like Suicide Boys, because before that, sorry, I actually got a little bit more into rap music because of the people I was hanging around with and like working with and stuff.
Yeah.
And back then, like I didn't think I could do it, and then I found Suicide Boys and Ghostman, and I was just like, holy shit, like I could do this, you know, like. So then I started trying, and obviously I never made that music before, so it was shit house. But yeah, that kind of like, yeah, over the years I think that improved a lot, and I still need to release more of that kind of music now. I've been sitting on so much, but I've just put all my complete everything into Diesect now. But
that's fucking paying
yeah,
off,
like those, thank you, bro, I appreciate that.
Anytime.
And yeah, like yeah, that's kind of how I got into that, because like I just needed something to do, and then like I just was sick as well, not having to, you know, being in a band, like, you know, you have an idea, you consult your band, you talk about it, and coming from that environment to being by myself, and I was just like, yo, I just have to worry about myself, so it was kind of cool like that. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got into that, and then yeah, just rode with that for like 4 years.
Okay.
And only the last like only the last like I think 2 years like it really started actually picking up a bit. Like
okay, cool.
Don't know what it was. Like for a while, like I didn't have any friends that were like, you know, like into the same things as me, like music wise, passion wise, that kind of stuff. I just didn't have that. It was just me by myself. And then like 2020, I met like my like best friend Plug Plague. And like, yeah, so met him, and then I met like a whole bunch of other dudes, like, you know, like Tommy Benzo, like all Trash Boy Caesar, like just a bunch of like, you know, Gold Coast musicians. And I guess I feel like when you like, you know, in an environment where you're with all these other musicians doing their own thing, like, you know, you kind of just naturally like evolve in a good way, you know, rather than doing it by yourself. And I think that's like how it started getting better. And then like obviously I don't know if you've heard Plague's Beats, but Plague's Beats, so and like he's next level, and I like ended up like producing for Scarlord on his album, and I like produced like 5 songs on there, and like, you know, so there was like that element added to it, like producing for people and like that kind of shit. As well as that, the music started getting better too. So like, yeah, that's where it's at. And then obviously Diesect started, and then I just threw that to the side. So yeah. So no good on that one. But I
think it's the same as like that, like what you were saying with Diamond Construct, of like you just keep doing it for so long, and like eventually it's gonna pay off. Like you were doing it for a while, and then it started to like become like fruitful, I guess is the word.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And then like even going to like spending time with other musicians in that genre, it's like in the heavy scene, if you're around the right creative types, like high tides rise all ships, like if you're around positive people that want what's best for that community, it's going to work out well.
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing, bro. Like I've met like so many musicians and stuff like over the years, and like so many different characters and all that, and I feel like when you have the people around you that genuinely like want you to, you know, evolve and like want like what's best for you and stuff like that, that's like the best environment you can be in, because like, you know, there's so many people that will like, you know, say that and not actually mean it, you know, for example. And but like, yeah, when you find those people, I feel that like genuinely like actually like your music, not just a quick like nice set, bro. You know what I mean? Like
a classic fucking nice set, slap on the back.
And then goes and tells the rest of the band that you're shit or whatever. You know about that. And yeah, like having those kind of people, like, you know, it's just, I think that's just the best growth environment. I think, especially musically, man. I feel like on the path of like music, like, you know, like I feel like a lot of people try to say like, you know, like they want to do it all by themselves, and that's all cool and stuff like that. But I don't know if you can really like, you know, truly do that, because it's like it's such a the path of music. I feel like, you know, in my experience at least over the last few years, I feel like when you're around like, you know, people with a similar goal, not the same goal, but a similar goal, and that you just you know, care about each other, like you're just gonna go flying forward so much faster, you know. So
and it's definitely better to have people around that have similar goals but not the exact same, and also similar influences that aren't exactly the same, because then you're going to be doing things that are more creative and trying things that are a bit different, and that could be what works.
100%. Definitely, bro. Like even team. Like, like some of my friends, like they make completely different music to me, and you know, like they like say make like, you know, like singing music and
Yeah.
straight up rap music, and
Yeah.
I was kind of making like an in between, and like even then it's like it's cool because you actually get like a subjective kind
Yeah.
of feedback, not just someone being like, yeah man, that's sick, because I
Yeah.
hate that shit. Like I hate if someone asks me for an opinion on music, I'm the type of person where I want to say exactly how I feel about it, not just be like, yo, this
Yeah.
is sick, bro. Sick. You know,
Yeah.
like I hate
Yeah.
that kind of shit because I hate it when people do that to me. Like I like when people actually like say like, oh man, this is cool, but I think maybe try this. Because I
Yeah.
respect that. So I'm like, you're not just trying to just be cool with me or just be a yes man or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, like having like people that don't exactly, you know, listen to that same music as you, they'll be like, they'll give you ideas you probably wouldn't even think of, you know?
For sure.
Or even just watching them make their own music, you're like, oh wow, that's cool how they do that. I'm gonna try and implement that in my own kind of way, you know?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know?
Fuck yeah. Pulling from all aspects.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting creative. So yeah.
Fuck yeah. Sick. That's fucking sick, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And I'm stoked that like you guys are crushing as hard as you guys are. Like knowing that Toowoomba was your first show as Diesect and seeing where you are now, I'm like, fuck, like you guys are like fucking crushing so hard.
Yeah, it's going really well, man. Like I'm super stoked. Like I had like a good feeling about it, like when we like wrote it, and then obviously when we got like our mixes back, we were like, holy shit. Like, you know, like we were just really excited, as you are when you get the mixes back from like, you know, a producer like Lance Prank. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just already exciting on its own. And then like, yeah, so I had like a good feeling about it. And obviously be like having listened to like metal for so long, like I feel like when it comes to like say rap, like I always kind of I'm like, is this good? I don't know, like, you know, with my own shit. But like with metal, like I'm kind of have a more confident feel at least. Like I'm just kind of like, nah, change this, do this, you know what I mean? Like because I've been doing it for like a while. And I just know what I like, I suppose. So I just had that good feeling about it. And yeah, like to see like going from like to this Woomba show back in October or November or whatever it was. To getting like these show uppers with like Antagonist and Damien I'm stoked that, man. I'm just stoked that they, you know, gave us that opportunity to. Like it's just awesome, and like fucking and on top of that too, like back in October, right before we played those shows, like we didn't know really any other bands other than like say Novus, for example, you know, from way back. And like obviously I knew Diamond Construct, but like I haven't spoken to them in years, you know. So like have done those shows now, and then to know these local bands and like have met people and like just purely through like music and stuff, it's just awesome, like you know what I mean, like it's so like rewarding just in that sense, like just having people like that will just come to your shows and just mosh and just be there, like you know, like it'll come to every one of your shows too. Like I think that is just so sick. Like for me personally, like having people this just happened for the first time, or like I think 2 weeks ago, like having someone mic grab and like scream lyrics I wrote. Like I'm just like, bro, like I've never had that before in my life, because obviously I wasn't a vocalist before. But like just having that, because like the way I think about that, I'm just like, dude, like I just wrote that on my notes on my phone, like, and you're here screaming that, and like if that means something to them, like that's just like that thing to me, that's what it's all about, bro.
For sure, man.
And I love that, I live for it. You know what I mean? So
sick, man. Shokan got big love for Diesect every fucking day.
Hell yeah,
band get around in Brisbane. Fuck, so good.
Oh, you're too calm, bro.
I mean, when we played those shows, I think I did a podcast afterwards, and I was like, on there, I was like talking about Diesect, and I was like, Diesect is your new favorite band. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
I think I remember seeing you post that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's
nice. You guys are crushing, man. It's fucking sick. Because it's like, the music's so like fucking hard hitting, and just like, there's parts that happen, you're like, ooh, fuck, like that's sick. And then like the lyrics and like the fucking timing of shit, it's just fucking the best.
Fuck yeah, that's sick to hear, man. Like that's really cool. Like having like I don't know, I don't know, I tend to forget everything nice people say to me all the time. So it's like, so I'm just trying like remember stuff. I just try like memorize that shit, like, and especially when we play, like I don't know, I just kind of like tap into like this different person when we play, and it might sound weird or whatever, but like
I think you need to, man.
I feel like for sure. And yeah, so people will like there's so many times where like I can visually remember people coming up to me and like, you know, saying nice things and shaking my
Yeah.
hand, but I can never remember like what the fuck they said.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I
sick.
wish I could, bro, because people have said some nice things. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, this person's talking shit about us. And like, you know. So
Sick.
yeah, yeah. Just how my
Awesome,
brain
man.
works. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, I'll get out of your hair, but before we go, I definitely should have told you this before we started.
Mm.
What are your top 5 favorite bands of all time? I usually tell people because the first few are like rattled people.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, fuck, I don't know. And then I was like, I should probably start telling people, but I haven't recorded one of these in like fucking 3 weeks. So I've completely forgotten to let you know that that's a question I'm going to ask.
True.
So
That's hard, bro. That's
yeah.
really hard. I guess I'd have to say like all time would probably be like just real quickly, probably Bullet.
Yeah.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It can be artists as well. So if you want to throw in some rappers and shit.
Yeah, big time Ghostman. Ghostman, I think, is just bro. He's just the way he's brought two different, multiple, more than two genres together. Bro.
He's a big crossover artist, which is
Yeah,
great.
changed music. I think Suicide Boys is up there for sure because they just changed music.
Yeah.
And shit, I can't really think of anything else. But I guess just for good measure, I'll say Escape the Fate because they got me into sweeping. So, yeah.
So good. Fuck yeah, man. Cool. Well, I'll put it in the intro and outro, but there's some fucking sick shows coming out the weekend after this comes out. Fucking you guys are playing Diamond Construct, Woolly Mammoth.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking sick.
We got the Friday
11 dive
bar.
Yep.
I think that's gonna be fucking sick too because I met someone there from that venue last night. He was telling me it's even bigger than Soul Bar apparently.
Was that Andy?
Yeah, Andy.
He's a fucking legend.
Oh, dude, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, like, such a good sound guy.
Sick. Yeah, I think he might be doing sound at that show too.
Oh, fuck, so. I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be sick, man. I love it when we got a good sound guy.
Yeah, he's fucking great.
Yeah, and then the fucking the Gold Coast show. I think that's gonna be crazy, man. Like I think we're gonna be we're planning on filming it. So
cool.
The more people we can get there, the better, bro.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening, get to Vinny's Dive early. Yeah. Watch Shokan, Native Tongue, Xenochrist, Dead Nerve, Diesect, fucking killer show. Yeah, and shout out to Brighter as well while we're here.
Yeah, as if you wouldn't want to miss that.
Yeah,
because the Brighter.
Yeah,
he's that out because he wants to mosh at the show, but obviously we want him to film, and he doesn't want anyone else to film us. So I think he's just gonna be stomping with the camera in hand.
Yeah, sick. Fuck yeah, man. Cool.
That's gonna be good, man.
Well, thanks for doing the podcast.
No, thanks for having me on, bro. I really appreciate it, man.
Done for another week. Huge thank you to Damien. Fucking such a nice guy. Through this talk, it was like kind of realizing that he and I are very similar as people, but like we've played all these shows together and we've never had a conversation like this. Like I didn't know he liked Escape the Fate. Like that's fucking wild to me. Or that even like Bullet, because you listen to Diesect and like that's not in there at all. And then knowing that Jacob from Diesect is like a huge Trivium guy, like you don't even see like that influence in like their music really. Like when I was younger, Trivium and Bullet were kind of like the Megadeth, Metallica of heavy music at the time, just seen as like the super shreddy, like the bands that were bringing thrash kind of back, and like you don't really see that in Diesect at all. And like knowing that two of the members like Bullet and Trivium, it's fucking crazy to me. But yeah, go listen to Diesect wherever you listen to music. They have their new Snake Eater 2-track out, as well as an EP out, and it's all fucking real good shit. So go listen to it wherever you listen to music. And go hit up their socials. Diesect, Diesect, on Facebook. That's how it's spelled. And Diesect.au on Instagram. And next weekend, this is the fucking big one. This is the one I told you to listen about in the intro. Diesect is celebrating the release of the Snake Eater 2-track with the Snake Eater Weekender, and it starts off on Thursday the 31st of March as they support Diamond Construct alongside Days Like These, Starve and Dead Nerve at the Woolly Mammoth in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. Friday the 1st of April at 11 Dive Bar in Maroochydore on the Sunshine Coast will be Diesect, Dead Nerve, Shokan, my band, Woohoo! And Native Tongue. And on Saturday, the 2nd of April, at Vinny's Dive Bar on the Gold Coast, it will be Diesect, Dead Nerve, Shokan, Xenochrist, and Native Tongue. Huge hype. So if you want to go get tickets to that, you can check out the link tree for either my band, Shokan, or Diesect at diesect.au on Instagram, or Shokan Band on Instagram. And if you like what I'm doing over here with the podcast, fucking do me a favor, hey? Just do me a fucking solid. Share it, tell a friend, like, subscribe, follow on Instagram and Facebook at Heavy Sweater Podcast. And yeah, that's literally all I've got to plug at the moment. Listen to my band, Shokan. We're fucking pretty cool. Yep. We have a show coming up after that, so we're doing these 3 shows next weekend. And then afterwards, on the 8th of April, we're playing with Proposal, Some Heard Trouble, and Hang 'em High at the Bright Side. Anyway, come back next week for a new episode of the podcast. It's going to be a good one. Another international guest. So, yeah, we're doing that on the reg now, which is fucking sick. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.